and I'm a little bit earlier than planned because I want to do maybe longer chat with Mike than just half an hour. And this will be the chat about the project that is called Handshake, but I'm also interested about what Mike is doing and all of other things related. So Mike, I want to say one thing. I was checking your Twitter recently,
Okay.
and what I see the background of Hong Kong. And I'm not sure if you know about that, but I used to live in Hong Kong.
Oh, cool.
In fact, my company is still registered in Hong Kong.
Nice.
But because of the pandemic, you probably know that Hong Kong is quite strict. So I ended up abroad because I went to travel last year and I couldn't come back to Hong Kong.
Yeah,
Um,
it's difficult times.
so I actually see the picture. There's somewhere around Admiralty. I see there is a picture of Bank of China and HNBC. So could you tell me what are you doing? Who are you? I
Sure.
see you. You're not in Hong Kong. You're in mainland China. But like, I'm
Yeah.
I'm interested. Who are
Yeah.
you?
I mean, Hong Kong is right there, just so you know. It's right here.
Okay, so you're in Shenzhen.
Yeah, I'm in Shenzhen, so there's Hong Kong.
Yeah,
This is Shenzhen right here.
yeah. You
So
the place
yeah.
you show the mountains in the background. I'm not sure if people can see it. I used to hike there.
Oh, you used to hide there, really?
Yeah, I would hike all around Hong Kong, and Hong Kong has amazing hiking trails all around. So
Nice.
yeah, the place you are showing, this place, when you up north in Hong Kong, you can see Shenzhen, and you can see Hong Kong. So this amazing tech hub, Shenzhen, but there is some disagreements between between the mainland China and Hong Kong. But
I
yeah,
know, I know. It's
uh,
so annoying, right?
yeah. What do you do? What do you do there?
So I mean, I'm a marketing consultant, internet marketer. I also have a podcast and blog called Global from Asia, where I talk about cross border trade, cross border e-commerce, and do internet marketing SEO for my own websites and client websites. And yeah, of course, we can talk about Handshake. I'm loving Web3, D-Web, so I'm investing heavily time and resources into the new internet. But I'm basically I love content creation, internet marketing, and cross-border e-commerce, cross-border trade. So, I like you, I used to travel a lot, but we don't travel anymore. But I was always crossing between Hong Kong and Shenzhen for events, networking, business development for e-commerce, SEO projects.
I would
Um, yeah,
hopefully we meet because I believe in few months I will be back in Hong Kong finally.
nice,
So
nice,
whenever you're around, we can actually meet. It would be nice, nice to meet there people who are interested in Handshake
for
and
sure.
Web3. I was in Shenzhen as well,
Oh,
actually
cool.
with my girlfriend because it's a good place to see if you want like really nice milk tea with cream topping on top.
Yeah,
So
yeah, it
we're
is
like,
cool. Those
um,
cups with the cow print, those cow
I'm,
printed cups.
yeah, I'm not sure which one was this, but my girlfriend told me that this one is very famous in Shenzhen, the cream topping, and it was really amazing. It spread, so probably it reached Hong Kong now. Even if she's not like fan of the mainland China, like the people love to go there for food anyway. Like
Yeah.
so you've been there since 2007, yeah, like quite
Yeah,
or
yeah. '07. My quick story is I worked on Wall Street, and I sold on eBay on my part time. I was
oh.
just doing e-commerce while I was in New York City, and then I started buying on Alibaba. Buying on. So I quit my job in 2007 in Wall Street, and there was a little bit of time in California, but
So
essentially I came to China, and then. Yeah, somehow I'm still here.
Yeah,
A longer trip than I expected.
you know what I did? I went because my girlfriend is from Hong Kong, and I'm
Okay,
not sure you have
my
wife, I
wife
believe.
in
Is she
yeah,
Chinese?
she's
Look,
Chinese. Yeah, yeah.
so it's probably the same story. I got one-way ticket, and I went to Hong Kong and I stayed there for 3 years. So
Yeah, yeah.
I believe maybe that's the similar story. But I wonder. So the China seems to be changing, and it seems to be opposing the blockchain. Maybe not opposing the blockchain technology, but the idea of the centralized blockchain technology.
Yeah,
Because
I
uh,
mean, even in the
so
U.S., I mean, any major economy is threatened because they can't print their own token. They can't issue
yeah,
their own money.
I
So yeah,
think what sometimes people don't understand, like if you disagree with me, you are open to do this. But what Chinese government like to have, they like to have control. So
yeah.
everything that would take away control from their hands is so. How do you think it will affect you? Does it affect you personally? Does it make you think that it's maybe not the good place for you to run the business? Do you think of leaving or not? You have completely different opinion. Is the China doing right thing, or you think they making mistake?
I'm physically in China, but I was actually in Thailand for a couple of years. I actually had thought I had left China. So 2018 and 19, I was in Thailand with my wife, and I have kids. So I had already thought I was done with China. Um, so honestly, I am here. Um, it's a funny story, but obviously you have a Hong Kong, girlfriend, and obviously you have in-laws or you have their relation. So we came back, and it's a joke, but it's like a Chinese New Year that's been over a year and a half long.
so
So I
so so
was,
so you went there now to visit year ago, and you didn't
yeah,
leave.
yeah, like
It's not the best to. So
yeah,
opposite story for me, because I left and I couldn't, like, it's not the best way to travel. And I like probably actually now during the pandemic being in China is quite okay,
yeah.
because
It's pretty. They're, I mean, I guess depends what you're pretty safe because they're so strict that you can't
yeah,
really. Yeah, so you're pretty safe.
the
Um,
same. Sorry, the same thing about Hong Kong. I believe, like, my girlfriend was like tested 50 times already for
yeah, it's
so
not, man. It's not.
so if people wonder why there is such a disparity between the dealing with this in because many people actually think the Asian numbers are not real, and I actually believe they are real because it's completely different. The lockdown in Asia or the testing is so different than what you see in the West. So
Exactly. But yeah, I mean, so for me, I try not to have too much. I try to stay location independent. Somewhat nomadic, somewhat. I don't own real estate here. I don't have a fixed office here. Um, of course, there's sometimes nights where I'm worried there's gonna be a knock on my door and I disappear. But hopefully that doesn't happen to me. So But yeah, I mean, I don't try to target the Chinese market for crypto. I'm not trying to get Chinese people to do blockchain projects. I'm not trying to influence the Chinese market. We're talking on YouTube or Restream or international market. I mean, I hope Chinese can learn from this and learn from me and what I do, but I'm not really targeting the Chinese market. So um, I feel I'm not as vulnerable or reliant on Chinese policy of blockchain or crypto. Although I hope, I think we're both believers in an open market, open economy, with blockchain and crypto. So I mean, of course, I hope that Chinese people take the initiative to learn and to grow their knowledge about blockchain, and not be limited by what a specific government, I don't know what the word would be, tells you to use. I would hope people could make their own decisions of what technologies they and solutions they would use. But I mean, I feel I'm not, like you can see, like maybe I could just jump in the water and swim if I have to, you know?
Yeah. It would be probably like it's still maybe good place for business, Hong Kong.
Yeah, yeah,
Despite everything that happens, I miss Hong Kong, and I'd love to be
yeah.
there
It's a
for
beautiful
food.
city.
For
It's a beautiful, yeah, great food. I mean, it's a little bit stressful though. The that noise. And
you,
there's so many people. But yeah, I mean, it's a hot spot. Tech, business, finance. It's a great place.
it's easy to get used to it, like, so now I'm in Poland, and first days after coming back from Hong Kong, it's strange because it's quiet at night. And if you're in Hong Kong, like, you have at night your aircon, and you also hear everything from outside quite often if you don't have good windows. So, like, but you get used to it. And Hong Kong has amazing spirit, amazing money culture, because it's apparently great place for raising money for everything. Maybe not greatest place for startups, but for the raising money is great. And like, so we talk about crypto, and I think we both into the project that doesn't have that much of exposure, because there are so many crypto projects, and it seems so many of them don't actually try to do something, but so many of them is just focused on tokens. So many of them is just trying to uh, be the currency. I'm not sure if that's the right word, but this is not
Yeah,
how I see blockchain. Like, the currency is the last thing that I see in the blockchain. But one of the projects that seem to be quite interesting in the blockchain place is the Handshake protocol. And I wonder, what is your place in the Handshake? Who are you in community? And I wonder, how did you discover this? What was the first time you saw the Handshake, and what was your thoughts?
sure. Do we take questions from? Should we before we get into
Uh,
that?
yeah,
Should we
like,
take?
so let's get.
I mean, before we could switch into that, but I feel like maybe we could.
We can stop, because that's what I like to do. I like to do easy talks, and I let
Sure.
the
I could go into Handshake, which I love and I can't wait to talk about. But I feel like
yeah. Let's answer the question.
this is
Yeah,
like a Hong Kong question or like an
yeah.
Asia. So Christopher, think he's excited to hear about Hong Kong and so he's asking about crypto or blockchain economic zones. I feel like it's a little bit different because the economic zones, I think, in the 70s and 80s, which are still existing here. I'm actually not far from a Shenzhen economic zone. It's literally like 10 minutes walking from me. But I feel like those are more offline, physical, about trading products, holding physical products, but they also do tech. Um, they've been investing a lot in blockchain, but I like Marcin's been saying, they want their own blockchain or their own I don't know, centralized or their own version of blockchain projects. So I think if they were to do that, it would be, of course, using their own protocol or technologies. Um, but I feel like I wouldn't, I don't, but I would say more likely not. I feel like they already have these economic zones and centers, so I don't think they would make new ones. So just want to answer that. Thanks, Chris. So now back to Handshake. Yeah, so what attracted me to Handshake, well, was a friend in October of 2020, Chris Moore in Hong Kong. Actually, he's in Hong Kong. Um, he's into internet marketing like me, and other internet projects. And he told me about this Handshake, and he also attracted me because he says it's like you said, it's not like commercial, it's more underground, organic, and it's really trying to kind of change the way domains or the internet is built. And it was started like it's like Bitcoin for domains, I think is what he might have said, or how it's been interpreted to me. And it's truly decentralized. I know there's some bigger companies which we can talk about that a lot of people use, but you could use CLI, you could use your own wallets, you could use build your own tools on top of it. So and I was honestly, I don't know about you, but I was at first hesitant. I'm like, they're trying to get me to buy more domain names. They're trying to get me to like do something new. And then he gifted me a name, Sky Include, which is my blog about Handshake. Sky
Yeah.
Include. Um, and then it was totally, the Handshake name was free, and then I bought the .com just to match the two. And when I do something, I like it seems like you too. I like to share my knowledge, connect with people. So I started to do videos and blogs about it, what I was learning, and then it's addicting. I think I've seen your tweets too about it's addicting. They really gamified it. So you start to find the name you want. You follow the auction, and then the last few blocks you're like hoping your bid gets mined, and so it's just the rabbit hole, right? I mean, connecting with the community. Um, name base is great. Johnny Woo is really supportive.
Oh,
He
amazing, amazing! I wanted. Sorry for stopping you. Like, so Johnny Woo is working for the Namebase, which is centralized company that make it basically easy to purchase domains and use the Handshake. And I actually wanted the interview with him, but like he says he doesn't feel very good doing interviews. But his help and his videos are so pleasant to watch. Like his
Yeah,
instruction to use, it's he's a great guy. Yeah, I want. Yeah,
he's
it's a,
such a nice guy. So he was always encouraging me and supporting me with the content, and in getting into the community. And sometimes there was these handshake director calls, which were all of us that have a handshake token or have a handshake name. We are a handshake director.
yeah. Because, so sorry to stop you, because many people wouldn't understand, because there's this director calls, and at first I was also confused. Hey, what do you mean? Why they are directors of Handshake? Because Handshake doesn't have anyone. But to people to understand, like this is fully decentralized, so the Handshake protocol, they don't have the CEO, right? So it's like if you bought the Handshake token and you participate, you are free to call yourself the director of Handshake, because
Yeah,
hey, you are partially owner of the Handshake, so we are all directors. And I guess people who are more participant in the community like you, they have these calls because of course not everyone has something to say, right?
yeah, yeah. So just down the rabbit hole, and I also didn't want to just be a holder of names. I wanted to use them. So I try my best to build out the sites. I converted a lot of my traditional domain internet, like Web 2 sites, to Web 3 on Handshake domains and Handshake and hosting. So that's the quick story. So it's also led, the community is so engaging and helpful and interactive. So, we did a conference, HandyCon, which was awesome. Jahan True and the D Web Foundation and I and others put that together in March of 2021, which was really awesome. And yeah, I mean, we're just trying our best to grow the reach and
Yeah,
to
like
educate.
it's really difficult to talk about Handshake on YouTube, because sometimes I try to bring it up, but not sure if you experience that because you have your channel and I talk about Handshake. But in the comments, the people recommend different project and say, "Hey, this one will moon. This one will moon. Hey, this one just did 2x. You should." And they don't get it. I'm not into this. Like, I'm not into this price. Like, I can discuss in some other videos. Thank you, Fran, for coming so late.
Thank you, friend. Yeah, thank you.
um, but I'm not into this. Like, so I'm open with people when I talk about Handshake. Hey, this is complete experiment and I don't know if it's going to work, but I'm so fascinated with this. And how I got into this was because somehow I believe it was, not sure if you heard, Chango and Chain
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
from Cosmos. So I
yeah.
followed her on Twitter and I saw the tweets about Handshake, and I'm like, well, she keep tweeting about Handshake. What the hell is this shit? So I'm going to the Twitter rabbit hole of the Handshake, and I discovered the community is so fun. The memes and all of this stuff, And the best part of this wasn't just the random people, but these were the people who are into blockchain. Like I said, Chango and others, and you have Greco Suri from Akash. And
Yeah.
I discovered, hey, this might be amazing thing, because these people that are so much in the blockchain, they say this is like such an amazing thing. And I start buying domains, and this was so addictive. And you stop caring about money because you just want to accumulate this stuff. You don't
Yeah.
know if it's valuable, because I feel the adaptation is at such a it doesn't exist basically at this moment. So I want to ask you, because everyone is focused, and even the name base page is actually focused on the just acquiring the names, and they try to advertise this as NFTs. So I want to ask you, do you think if trying to advertise the domain names built on domain names on the Handshake blockchain, do you think is the right way to go and advertise this as the NFTs, or you think this
By,
is wrong
by
way?
technically it's correct to call it an NFT because it's not a token. It's not a fungible token. HNS or BTC or ETH is a token, is fungible token. This is a non-fungible token. So by definition, it's correct to call it an NFT. That is by definition what it is. I mean, you can't really call a .com an NFT. As far
Yeah.
as I understand, some people feel like you could potentially convert it to an NFT, maybe, but not really. I don't think at the traditional domains. So a lot of people confuse NFTs with Ethereum NFTs, but an NFT doesn't have to be on Ethereum. There's of course OpenSea and the Ethereum network is the dominant NFT ecosystem right now. But there's other blockchains that also support NFTs, like IrisNet in Cosmos. I don't know if you looked at
Yeah,
Iris.
yeah, because I'm actually the Cosmos network person.
Cool.
Yeah, like I hold atoms, and I like Cosmos
I,
projects, so I know
I mean,
IrisNet.
I'm also, I don't know if you saw the router we're working on with Sentinel, um, the web router. I could share about that. But yeah, I mean, I'm liking Cosmos, but back to the question, we can talk about that. But I think it is a little bit maybe confusing to people to call it NFT, although technically it's correct. Maybe NFT domain or NFT name naming system. I think all of us in the Handshake community are still trying to find the main value for the mass market. Like you said earlier, there's still not mass adoption of this. We're seeing like people buying crypto punks for millions of dollars and apes for hundreds of thousands of dollars. But these are still a lot less. Even the most valuable Handshake name, I think, is well less than most of these
Yeah,
Ethereum NFTs.
this is my problem, because when you talk about CryptoPunks, and sorry for being a little bit sounding maybe a little bit bearish here, because I actually like to start from the point, hey, this is very difficult to get the adoption. So as we can argue for the CryptoPunks, right, this is I don't know, this exists on the Ethereum blockchain, which is adopted. Let's see, it's getting adopted, it's being adopted. But when it comes to Handshake, it's not being adopted. In fact, I don't think the naming system is compatible with any browser at this moment.
Not,
So
not natively yet, but
I,
there's
I, I want to learn, like, is there any works going on now? I know there were talks about the Brave browser, and I don't like what they do, because they climb their money. They did, like, I mean, why they are not trying to be compatible. It would be fun. It would bring
yeah.
a
I
lot
mean,
of adoption. So
I don't know if you saw. I was kind of got in the middle of that Brave discussion. So Brave is their standpoint, from what I understand, is Handshake or a open source developer could build the integration of Handshake into Brave, but if Brave was to program the integration themselves, they would they're asking for compensation.
Yeah.
Um, so I think that's the current situation. So there is a pull request open for Brave to allow Handshake developer community to pull the code of Brave to then build the integration in the community. But if I think some of the debate was to have Brave do it themselves, if that seems like they want to get paid for that, which some feel is why wouldn't they get paid to develop
Yeah.
something in
So
their.
is there like open conversation? Is the people from the Brave browser being in touch with the Handshake community, or it's rather like they don't care?
There's been talks of, again, like we said earlier, we're learning about the good and the bad of a decentralized community or a decentralized blockchain, right?
Yeah.
The good thing about we just said earlier, the good thing about Handshake is similar to Bitcoin. There's no owner. There's no clear person in charge of it. But the negative that means there's no real sounds hypocritical centralized person or group that can talk to Brave. But I guess any of us, you could, I could, others could. So there's been some groups in Handshake that have approached Brave that got these quotations or these prices. But the big challenge is you there's a Brave is a Web2 or a private company, and they don't allow open public sharing of their quotations or their business deals. So like they don't they don't want us to just say, hey, Brave wants this. This is their contract. This is how much they'll charge.
Yeah.
They have a confidentiality agreement. So those people that talk to Brave on behalf of Handshake have a contract with Brave that they can't share publicly. They have like a confidentiality agreement, so they can't share that with everyone.
Yeah.
That's kind of
Uh
the tricky part.
yeah, Aidan, I don't know, Crypto Hodler, the name is Aidan. I know. I'm not sure what do you mean. So if you can
Yeah, I don't know what Orbit is.
if you can clarify. So this is the point, like you talk about centralization, and I wonder, is the centralization not needed when it comes to such an important things like DNS, right? Because what if you owe the DNS, right? Why if you sorry, what if you owe top level domain, right? And uh, what if you lose it, and people got your domain and have their own sub level domains under your top level domain? What if you just lose it on the blockchain?
Um, yeah, I mean, it's a simple question, but it's a long answer. I mean, it's the same as Bitcoin. There's a lot of people that forgot their keys, and they have a lot of Bitcoin. I don't know if you know people. I know friends that lost their keys, and they're so angry because it's a lot. Especially 5-10 years ago, I have friends that had a wallet with like 4, 5, 6, 7 Bitcoin, and they don't have the
Yeah.
they don't have the key, and they can't get it. You can't get it. I can't get it. They can't get it. Right? That's the negative of decentralized. There's no customer support like a bank where you say, hey, I lost my password. Can I give you my passport or my ID and you give me a password? That's the negative. It's your keys, your crypto. So the same with Handshake. It's your keys, your domain. If you lose your key, if someone gets your key, then yeah, I mean, but it does expire after 2 years. I know we say it's free for life, but there is a very, very small mining fee you need to send every 2 years to the blockchain, like 0.01.
Is it happen automatically?
No,
So if
I mean, again,
if
this goes back to which custodian. If you're using Namebase, they'll do it for you automatically. That's
Okay,
one of the
that's good.
benefits. But if you're using like your own wallet, you have to send that yourself. Um, so yeah, if you have it in say Bob Wallet or other solutions, you have to be responsible to send that transaction. Um, they give you the date, just like a domain. It says renew by, and that's if you forget your keys or you die. Um,
That's
they go. It's true,
But
right? Like,
that's actually amazing because sorry, I didn't think about it, but the fact that you have to renew it every 2 years, it's good protection for losing the key, because if someone uses the domain, right, and they lose the key, and some people are actually renting out the subdomains from this person, and this person loses the key, it traps everyone. But the fact that then it will be the fact that later on it has to be renewed, then this domain will not disappear forever, like you
yeah,
losing the keys to your Bitcoin, but it will actually exist, so it can be brought back again.
yeah.
So
So, but back,
crypt
but well, I mean, I could answer a little bit. There is dot forever. You said forever, forever
yeah,
domain.
so
I don't know if you've seen forever. That's they,
yeah, I saw it. I saw Forever
that's for
Domain.
life, and they have what you can do is let anybody renew your TLD, not just
Hmm.
you. So
Um,
anybody can renew it. And I'll answer the crypto holder.
yeah, I
I'll
want to.
answer. I think we both are on the same page of that answer, but others can also not not by default in Handshake, but you can make customizations on your TLD where anybody can renew it for you, so they can send that transaction to keep it. So that makes it life, well, hopefully forever, as long as somebody wants it to stay. So if they have an SLD, then they'll keep it, and if others have an SLD, they'll keep it. So that's another solution. Um, so should we go to crypto holders question?
Yeah,
I'd
if
like,
we can hop on and answer some of that,
yeah. So what
it's to you.
interrupt? I think we chatted earlier, right? I think maybe Marcin agrees, but I'll speak for myself. I mean, I'm a fan of Atom or Cosmos. I'm also working on a project, Indigenous Routers, the brand, on Sentinel to make a DVPN router for Handshake and Sentinel interoperability. And but yeah, I mean, I like the Cosmos ecosystem. Like Chango, like Marcin said, is great. She's a big KOL and leader in that community. And I feel I like Atom because it seems like it has. I like projects that are executing, that are building, that are creating, that are not just like, I think Marcin's maybe is similar. I like ones that are not, maybe they're not the best marketers, but they have developers and they're building and they're a good community. And I see that the most in the Cosmos. You know, Akash Network. Greg, like you mentioned, Osuri is great. You know, Chango is great within Atom and others. And so I feel comfortable to say Atom or Cosmos.
Many people compare Cosmos and they say, "Hey, the similar thing there's Polkadot is doing." So, do you have opinion on that? Why Cosmos? Why not Polkadot?
It's it's true, but I mean, I feel from what I've seen with Polkadot, it's not as there's not as much IBC. You know, there's more. There's actually IBC now, and there's Osmosis decks. There's Emerus coming. Gravity Dex is, I guess, working now on CLI. There's Sif Chain. So I just feel like I haven't seen this. I think it's still in the works with Polkadot. I don't think there's as much developed.
I like to use what Greg Osuri from Makash was saying, that basically he tweeted that he doesn't want to shit on the Polkadot parade, but he's been programmer for like 25 years or something like this, and the developers use Cosmos. It's easier to build. It's cheap, which Polkadot doesn't offer, because in Polkadot you pay really high fees. So I don't think the Polkadot intention is this true interoperability, but I think the Polkadot intention is more of a business. Like this for money generating. And I sure want to talk later about some of the projects that you actually mentioned. But want to also go back to the domains. So you mentioned the forever domains, which is
Yeah, there you
basically
go.
someone on the someone who is in the Handshake community. They bought
Yeah.
the forever top level domain, which can be used also with sub level domains. So that would be that forever, and you can, for example, my name is Marcin Mikus, so they have the page, and you can search for if there is marcinmikus.forever if I would like to have this domain, and you can see it's available. So my question is to you: so does it mean that if I would get this domain, I want to ask you: is it possible for me to use it or not?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, so it works on Ethereum blockchain. So it's actually a fork of ENS domains. So .eth. It's similar, very similar to how .eth works. And
But it's from the Handshake, right? So
yeah, so this is the confusing part. The
yeah,
TLD is
like
Handshake, and the SLD is on Ethereum. So you're actually getting an Ethereum domain. If you clicked buy, you would go to MetaMask or any of your Ethereum wallet. You would pay in Ethereum. So that's actually called HIP 005, HIP 5.
that's
HIP
already
means,
too complicated for me, but
yeah. So
it's fine
they
because
actually they brought it to Ethereum, and when you register, it's pegged to Handshake blockchain on a TLD level,
yeah.
but the SLDs are being created and minted. The minting of the SLD of the that's an NFT. You could sell that on OpenSea. So
Mhm.
if you want, or I could share my screen. I don't know. Can I do
Yeah, you,
that?
you you can do. There is the option screen sharing you should have.
Okay.
But my
Okay.
my question is, so it means if I buy Marcin Mikus forever, I can use it. Can I use it in the web too with the, I don't know, Google browser, Chrome browser?
You would still need these plugins. Just it's basically a Handshake. It functions the same as a Handshake domain.
So it means at this moment I cannot use it until the
Well, I
Handshake
mean, you
will.
you can use it with the Handshake resolver.
I understand, but with the commonly used browsers, I cannot because there is no integration, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's no, yeah,
Yeah,
basically,
like because many people when they hear domains, they think they can already use it in the Chrome, like so I'm trying to tell no, you actually, because it's still not done. Like it's
yeah,
so yeah, here is your screen. Yeah, you wanted to.
yeah. So see, these are on OpenSea, so you could
Mhm.
buy this. Somebody already minted them, so they already went to forever domains. So you could buy this now for 788 US or 0.25 ETH, right? You could buy this now.
Are people buying?
We
Is,
can look
is
here.
Did
I
someone buy it?
I might have to go a little bit sooner, just to let you know.
Mm-hmm.
But you can look. There's been this much Ethereum,
Mm-hmm.
0.16, which is, let's see. Somebody bought NFTs dot forever for 0.16.
And this
What
is
is
subdomain, right? This is subdomain.
Yeah, it's the subdomain in
Yeah.
Ethereum. See, so this
It's
person.
500, would be around 500, I believe, something like this. Um, but so I have questions, and forgive me if my questions are a little bit stupid, right? Because I actually don't know anything about the
Don't worry, don't worry.
the
I'll still
technical
try
stuff.
helping.
But there is also browser that is Tor browser, which is for the dark web, right?
Well, there's
And
actually Puma browser is natively working with Handshake. It's a mobile only browser. Puma, I do want to give them a shout out.
yeah, I actually downloaded it.
Yeah.
So, but let me start with we will talk about Puma browser. Is there possibility, because on the Tor browser you have all of these onion addresses, right? They are very long, they are very unpractical, and I was thinking, is it possible for the Tor browser to integrate the Handshake and use the Handshake domain and preserve the anonymity that the onions offer?
Uh, I have to say I'm not. I haven't studied that, but I mean anything is possible. I mean, it's just about integration building. Somebody would have, just like a Brave browser or any kind of a browser. Somebody would have to build a way to build that bridge or build that integration. But I have to say I'm not too familiar with it.
Do you ever see Chrome, Mozilla, or others trying to do it? Maybe.
I mean, I think I don't. Obviously, they're just so big, and they probably don't see it as a priority right now. It's the saying chicken or the egg, right? But I think the solution is somebody's got to make a killer social network, something really, really amazing, and you have to use Handshake to open it.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
understand.
and
Hmm.
when everybody starts to download Puma browser to use it, then enough market share, they grow so big. Everybody's
Yeah.
saying download Puma, download Puma, download Puma. Then all of a sudden,
So
the other ones are noticing this feature, and then the big ones have to integrate to um,
yeah, I
secure.
understand what you're trying to say. If there is a smaller browser that is the centralized browser and will support HNS, so then if people get interested in that and it start trending, then the big guys will see, hey, maybe we do it too because people are going there and it's very cool and we can benefit from that.
Yep.
For the Puma browser, like now, just it's mobile browser, so you can go to App Store on your mobile phone and download the Puma browser. And I believe you can experiment and see how it looks for yourself. You can see
Yeah.
if the basically how you search in your browser Google and Puma, you can compare how it looks. So we can give shout out because every one user is probably valuable. I was talking about to the Rob from Shake Stats, and I was asking like,
Yeah.
oh, do you have any questions to the mic? And he's like, maybe ask about how his router is going in regards
Yeah. I
to
know. I mean,
sales.
I could I could show it. I could show it. This is the pro. It's still early. We're it's gonna look a little ugly, but I take it apart. This is the router right now. And there's production happening. In the factory. I was there on Friday last week. Um, it's got the
So
eye here.
sorry to stop you, because this is from the Sentinel, so I actually changed the router is what is the Sentinel? Is the decentralized VPN, right?
Decentralized. Yeah. Yeah.
Decentralized
DVPN.
VPN. So what the router does? Can you and how is
So
I mean,
sure. I know today we talk a lot about. I hopefully people are going to learn a lot. If they're it's probably overwhelming. So this is
yeah.
on the Cosmos blockchain ecosystem, but it's its own blockchain in the ecosystem of Cosmos or Atom, and the ticker is DVPN. And it's essentially means there's nodes all around the world of people. This is basically a node, so people can connect to this device in your home and use that. Yeah, there you go, sentinel.co. And they can use that. Thanks, Christopher. Seeing this some chats here. So essentially, people could connect to their instead of using a normal VPN where you use a private company and they have nodes all in their control or they're renting or paying for. This is the people have nodes and you are connecting to those nodes as a user. And by using this VPN, you can this router you can then allow others to use your excess bandwidth, your internet, and you also can use other people's internet as well. So I can stop there. There's more to it, but it also is gonna use allow you to resolve handshake names.
So question: if I buy this router, sorry, how much is this?
Sure, it's a popular question. It's at the normal price is 500 US, but of course we have various discounts. It's not yet publicly available. We have, if you want to look at the website, it's called indigitus.com. I could type
Can you,
it. I don't know if
yeah,
there's
if you
somewhere I
could
can
type
type.
it.
I click. Where do I click here?
So, and also I want to ask, if I buy this router, right? If I get it,
Yep.
so how does it do? I'm already like I connected and I'm in the. It's like a VPN. It's
Yeah, yeah. It's a built-in VPN. Is this going to the group? I don't. I
it's
put
to
the
me.
link.
It's okay. So I can show you.
So
So
this is
this
our
is the
web.
product. So you get it and you connect it where to the
Your
laptop.
home. You
Oh,
know, like to your current route. You could use this as a second router, or this
mm-hmm,
could be your main router. It's
mm-hmm.
basically to your home internet.
And it's already working like a VPN, right?
Yep. Yeah. So it's
So
both.
basically,
Yep.
I don't have to use all of this NordVPN or stuff like this. I have this router, and no one knows where I'm surfing from, right?
Yeah. You'll be surfing from the
Amazing.
location that you're using. Yeah. And then you
Yeah.
could
So
switch.
sorry, I'm trying to build like simple mind, So
Yeah. No, it's
I'm
great. It's great.
I'm trying to get the like sort of idea to the people. So wonder, do you see the like really? Let's be optimistic, right? Do you see the adaptation will happen? And if in could you maybe estimate? Do you see like in 5 years? I think the adaptation of the handshake names and the DVPN and also cloud computing.
Yeah. I mean, well, there's got to be more catalysts. Reason the end user, the normal user, needs to want to use this. I mean, once your mom or your not so technical sister or brother or friend, once they start to want to use this, but I mean, we're seeing this happening. We're talking about regulations in U.S. and China. We're talking about like exchanges not allowed to basically not allowed to use certain people from certain countries. So once people are start to be blocked from using websites based on their location, or once you know once websites are taken offline, hosting, it happens more and more, right? Like even with like Donald Trump's Twitter account got shut down. Like once these regulations keep happening, at the same time, these decentralized domains, decentralized VPNs, decentralized processing and hosting. This is called it's called the unstoppable web. I think Greg Asuri maybe started that. I don't know where it came from, but I love the name unstoppable web. And then there's Handshake. There's Akash. There's Saya Coin for hosting or Filecoin, and then there's Sentinel for the bandwidth or VPN. And then you can run these nodes in your house, right? The VPN, compute with Akash, Saya with hosting. You become the hosting company in your house.
There is a
You,
question. Someone is like, "What's with the cybersecurity in this
yeah, it's
case?"
a popular question. So we're working to protect the especially these individual users. But there's a lot to that, and we have a long blog post about it. But there's two or three short answers. One is whitelisting, so we don't allow the clients, the users, to use your location for black hat websites. So that's one way. I see your second question. So that would be the best way to prevent it. So they wouldn't be able to surf websites that are, of course, known for illegal practices. The second way is there are consumer protection policies in various countries like DMCA and others where it protects the node. If you're not the end visitor, it's someone else. You prove that it wasn't you individually. And there's a lot more to it. It's gonna be hard for me to answer that in one question, but we have a full FAQ. But those are my two quick answers: a whitelist solution, and the second is there are consumer protection
Well,
rights in Europe and US to protect the
yeah, I
node.
don't understand this other. What else traffic would go through this router? I think what traffic is the
I think he's talking about by you having this online and allowing others to come into this, um, you would, there could be people doing things on your internet connection that might be that might be what's it called? Jeopardize your connection, you.
Um,
So that's what Christopher's also following up with a similar question. I mean, actually, I don't know what I'm calling it, the D web. I don't call it dark web. I call it the D web, the decentralized web. But some people might call it a dark web. I mean, it's a decentralized internet. It's where, yeah, I mean, even in handshake domains, even even with the handshake domains, there are going to be people using this. I mean, same with Bitcoins. People say it's used to do, and it has been used for doing dark web transactions, the Silk Road. I mean, does that mean
I
this
mean,
whole shouldn't exist because it enables people to do bad things? I mean, that is a whole discussion that we could have, whether that is a whole discussion we could have.
my opinion is like you can ban everything and the bad things will be happen anyway, so we cannot stop it. There is also, I believe, in the dark web or the centralized web, depends how people call it. A lot of things
I
that are
think there's
considered bad, I think, actually are good things. Like so. I have Tor browser, so sometimes I check it, and the Tor browser recently, I think it's recently, they have now the regular like search engine, which is like amazing. Like I remember they didn't have it, and now the internet on the dark web look exactly the same like our like the Tor, just
wow. Okay.
so you can the dark web is exactly the same thing, just with the thing that you cannot ban it. And I think there is a lot of things that people choose to be secret, not because it's illegal, but because they want it to be secret. So there is a lot of good things coming with that. Jimmy42 say bye that thanks me later. It's probably because I often talk about my channel. I joke about Ada because I'm not a huge fan of Ada. So I was saying that people often would come to me and say bye Ada, thank me later, which is the sentence that it's just it's ridiculous. I think because there's
Yeah.
many people that think they know something and they're like buy Ada, thank me later. I'm like I'm not buying the $50 billion project that doesn't have anything yet. So the Chris also what's the stop the large tech company Facebook launching their own decentralized web, and actually the Handshake offers that, right?
I
So
mean, we can get into this. I mean,
depends how much time you have left. So
I
I'm
mean,
concerned.
I can call. I got maybe 5-10 minutes if that's okay.
Yeah.
No. It wouldn't be decentralized. It would be centralized. I mean, why would they recreate Facebook? Facebook's already a centralized ecosystem. Why would they create another centralized solution? But actually, to be honest, Christopher, they are working on the metaverse. I don't know. That's a whole nother discussion. But all these NFTs, all these things are going what's called the metaverse. It's like a world. It's like another world inside the internet, and you own Decentraland. I mean, there's a lot happening. NFTs and Decentraland. You can have even physical or blockchain land with, and there's games happening inside these decentral. And I heard a read article from Mark Zuckerberg interview just a week or two ago about he's investing in the metaverse and virtual reality. I mean, a lot of these things we're buying in OpenSea on Ethereum, these profile photos like CryptoPunks, the apes, Bay Area Yacht Club, BAYC Club. These are your personas. These are your user faces. And yeah, I mean, Facebook is also trying to integrate into that. But it's the same thing. Like if they don't adopt, they'll die. Like if the users move into these decentralized internets and Facebook doesn't do it, or Facebook makes their own version that people don't. I mean, of course, a lot of people like the walled garden of AOL, the walled garden of Facebook, but the current users are early adopters, and it's called the metaverse if you want to look into it. But yeah, of course, Facebook could try to make their own decentralized internet, but by definition, it would not be decentralized; it would be centralized because it would be by Facebook.
I want to add that there is possibility that in the future we'll have two Facebooks, so you can use the current web in the stage, and you can go to Facebook. And if Facebook will ever decide to have the copy of its Facebook on the decentralized web, there is infrastructure for that. For example, they will be able to use. I mean. When it comes to cloud computing, they will be able to use anything. But if they also want to have like a domain that is decentralized, they will be also able to claim it
Yeah,
because
yeah, you're right.
100,000 pages of Alexa, 100,000 pages on the internet are reserved. So if Facebook want to have their own domain and you want to use the decentralized web, whenever it happens in 5, 10, or 20 years, the Facebook can have its place there. That will be exactly just like the Facebook, but that will be decentralized, and Facebook will not be
Yeah,
able to probably censor anything
yeah,
in this part of the internet, but there will be
yeah.
also this part of the internet that is right now where they will be able to censor the things. And
Probably, probably the
yeah,
first one to do this would be Twitter. I think Twitter's even working on a decentralized solution of their tweets and their platform. But like Christopher Edwards saying is, it was true. It would get them off the back of regulators because regulators are really putting pressure on social networks to you know to ban users to be police. You know what I mean? Like, so yeah, if they moved it to a decentralized platform, solution, then they could tell the government, sorry, I can't delete that account, I can't delete that post. But for now, because they're centralized, they have to. I don't know why I say have to, but they're getting pressure from regulators or governments to delete that, to delete this, to say that, to put this notice about COVID-19 on the top of the pages, etc., etc., etc.
so which is pretty cool because once Twitter and Facebook would be partially on the centralized web and the government say, hey, you need to delete that, they kind of be like, we can't do it. It's
Exactly.
impossible. It's impossible. um so I wonder because we have a lot of companies working on this decentralized web, and there's Akash. I want to give the shout out to the
Yeah,
Akash
gosh, it's great too.
because right now the biggest cloud computing is Amazon Web Services, and that's the biggest revenue stream, I believe. And I think Amazon is amazing business, and they were doing this amazing, and it will be very difficult to compete with Amazon, I think. But Akash apparently offers something cheaper and decentralized. So I was thinking maybe Akash is in losing position because they try to challenge Giant. But I want to ask: is it possible, for example? So I was thinking how these two words could connect. Is it possible that Amazon will see, hey, Akash is amazing? So what they gonna do? Is it possible for Amazon? Well, I guess it is to just buy majority stake of the token Akash, where basically they will regain the power of owning cloud computing and get profits from that. What's I don't know.
I guess that's true, but they still would have the decentralized, you know, element of it. Owning the token is different than the actual operations of the platform. There will still be able to make a choice. There's the bidding, and there's the I've done a little bit with Akash. I've hosted a couple sites with Akash, but it's a bidding system. Anybody could host the a node just like this router. So there's this crowd element. So Amazon would still have people bidding below what they're bidding, right? The price would go down. So even though if they own the token, they cannot really control the network.
Yeah, I mean, this is actually a good thing. What I meant that Amazon would be buying, because I think Amazon, instead of trying to kill something, or I don't know, put down the pricing to kill, much more sense for Amazon would be actually probably just buy the token and be
Yeah,
part of it and benefit from it. Maybe you will earn more money from this.
yeah. I
Um,
mean, that would kind of, but that would make their investors. It's political. I think a little bit. It would almost tell everybody they're not believing in their own system, or I don't know. It'd be like buying. But of course, I would hope they do that. But I mean,
yeah.
I don't know. It's a tricky one.
Um, let's get the question.
Yeah, I mean, so Christopher's got some great questions, but of course they can block the D-Web. I mean, they can try to block it, but the difference with blocking it is the IPs are always changing. Like it's like Twitter used to be more decentralized. Twitter used to be API centric. So I used to be able to open Twitter in China because I could open up my own Twitter client. There's like Bruce Lee, it's like being the water. It's a blockchain. It's not a centralized IP address node. It's everywhere. It's everything. The more nodes on the network, the more people can access this blockchain and download this hosting, download this domain. It's more distributed. So I don't know if that's making sense, but it's like they would stop this, but then it would just be everywhere. It's just like bam, 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 and we just keep popping up because the more nodes, it's just everywhere. They wouldn't be able to just
That's
hit one
it.
space.
And there's like the from there is the legend. How is the work? Someone carrying the stone up the mountain, but the stone always fall down, so he can
Mm-hmm.
never carry it up. So it's the same here, right? The
Yeah,
governments might try to stop it, but it's always there, and they have to keep stopping it. And this
yeah,
job will never be finished. Ranji, he often catch a train and watch me live. So thank you for thank
great.
you for watching. I have questions at the end
I have to
to
get going
you.
in a minute or two if that's okay. But
That's fine. So my question is, what's your best domains that you have on the Handshake?
sure. I mean, again, it's TLD, right? So it's
I
to the
mean,
right.
what names you owe? Like
Yeah,
is
I
the
understand the question. I mean, I
yeah.
think one of my favorites, Mastermind, dot Mastermind, and I have my last name. I have my family name, Michelini. I even renamed my Twitter name, my user, not my username, but the name to have that. Um, I think mercenary. Um, I think I don't know. I mean, I get a lot of offers on Mastermind. I think that's kind of one of my
Yeah, that's
favorites.
that's the good one. Oh, Christopher, thank you. My channel is going places.
Great.
um, do you have any emojis?
Oh yeah, I have some emoji.
Single? The
Uh, yeah, I know what you mean. I have the squinty-eyed one, that smiley, single smiley.
Oh, okay. That's good one. That's good one. I have few as well. I mean, no, like I have two like good ones. The emojis. I have No Evil Sea Monkey. This I think is pretty
Oh,
good.
that's great. Yeah.
Yeah, bought it. 11,000 HNS when
Wow,
the
that's good.
HNS was at 70 cents. But
Ah,
it's okay. It's okay because I'm like, oh, this one is really good. Yeah. Uh, it's in the private chat, so I can see it. But like, I will type it in the. So that's Mike. So I'm not gonna hold it. You have to go. Give a shout out to yourself when people
okay.
can learn what you do and follow
Yeah, I
you.
mean, mikesblog.com is my personal blog where I put my like more personal updates, and you can find me there. And then if you like Handshake and see some of my tutorials, I put a ton of like 100 videos all about Handshake at skyinclude.com. So I think those are the top. And then, you know, if some people here like China, Asia, I have a blog about that, globalfromasia.com. But those are the three.
And that's your YouTube channel. If
Yeah,
someone
that's my
want
channel.
to
Yeah,
get something about the centralized web, Handshake, and all of other stuff. So Mike, thank you for your time.
yeah, sure.
It was nice hearing from you. Whenever you will have something you want to pass to the people from my channel and talk about cool things, I hope I can help and
Thank,
bring some good news. So enjoy your evening
thank you.
and
Yeah, yeah.
take care. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, thank you, everyone. Great questions, everybody, and I wish you all the best. I really believe in the future of this. It's, I guess, the question is how long. It's not a matter of when. It's just when. It's not a matter of if. It's just when, in my opinion. So
Yeah,
thank you.
I believe so too.
Okay,
Thank you. Bye bye.
bye bye.